Hello, my friends. Welcome to A Heart of Art and Design Lessons from a Coloring Book. My name is Carlos Moreno. I'm actually new to YouTube. This is only my second drawing lesson on YouTube. However, I've also taught a few classes here and there over the years. And I really like to share my ideas. So I thought that this might be cool, and I hope you find this interesting. Pikachu is a really relatable character, and he's actually really a lot of fun to draw. Now, on this example, I've set up the color palette for the artwork, and it's a good idea to make some little boxes and set up and see what colors you want to use. So I laid out a few that I want to use in the character. Now, I'm using Crayola because I'm really big on saving money. So these are twistable, but you don't necessarily have to have these. You can get the regular Crayola color pencils. They're very affordable, easily accessible. They sell them everywhere. So this is my first page, and I also recommend this is like really helpful if you have a paper that has a texture, because as I zoom into the character, the texture is what picks up the crayon, the Crayola. So as I'm working on this, you can layer in the color gradually, and then to soften the effect and blend the colors together, you can get your white color pencil, and that'll build up your color. See, it smooths it out. You can smooth it out all the way to like on the top part, whereas this part's very dark with the black. You can smooth it out, and none of the paper will show through. So in some areas you might want to do that. Like in here, I decided, yeah, I can make this really deep, but I can leave the texture effect here. So you can vary. So that's kind of cool. It gives a really cool effect. Now, I have another example as well, is where um, that how, so you can see the whole page here, like how I started is it to think about the outline, and this is the shape of the character, and then progress it by adding some detail. But first, get this part looking okay, and after you're satisfied, you can come here. And by the way, to draw the circle, you can just use a compass or something that's about the size of the circle you want. Now, in this example, again, with the color work, and I lightly brought in the colors here, but you can make them as deep as that. See, I start light, and then after, I make it darker as I move along. But I tend to work on the whole thing at once, like not focus on just one area, but build it up all together, gradually. And then over here, I laid out the colors like in the first example. Now, what I want to discuss with you also is the drawing will be the most important part to get looking right, like this. Once you get this part looking right and you're satisfied, then the coloring part is basically like paint by numbers. Like you just, everything will fall into place, and you don't have to worry about being off, because sometimes it's a little frustrating when you're working on a drawing and then you have a proportion problem and you have to undo. Like if I got into this and then all of a sudden his tail was too long or this arm was too long or something, then I have to erase out that whole section, and that's makes me sad. I'm just saying, because it gets a little frustrating. It just, but that's learning, trial and error. Now, I want to give you a brief discussion also. I prepared this to show you a little bit about the grid. Um, the grid method, this is just, I think about it like a window. It's just basically a window. And it helps these lines coming across here that go up and down help you find your locations to what you want to do, where you want to put the mark. Like if I wanted to start here, I can make little dots. So see, this is where Lessons from a Coloring Book comes from. Is it dot to dot? You can make your little dot along this line right here. A dot here, a dot here, a dot here. Finding your locations and then connect the dots. Right? Now, I made the dots darker. Of course, like in a practical sense, you would make them a little lighter just so you could see them. But this is just for the example. And then I also made these lines on the grid blue because I wanted to be able to separate the lines from the character to the lines of the grid lines so I don't get confused. It's very simple, dot to dot. And I'll be covering more of this um, as I release more lessons. Well, my friend, the time goes so fast. Oh my goodness. Well, that's that's what I'll be into, and I'm really open to questions, and I'm always willing to share my ideas with others. And so, if you have any questions, just feel free to comment, and I'll help you as much as possible. Give you, if I know the answer, I'll help you out with some technique. Well, thank you for sharing your time. I hope to see you soon. Until next time.